Hi, photo students. I'm going to go over our long one part two, the instructions for this assignment, just to make sure that everyone's clear as to what I'm expecting and you can hear me talk through it. There are a lot of demo videos within this assignment. I'm not going to go through each one of those. I'd expect you to watch those separately, but I just want to make sure that you have a sense, because there's a lot of information and I can gather that it would be helpful. So in this assignment, we're going to go through what's called a workflow. You should, at this point, already have shot 300 images. And those images now we need to bring to our computer, digitize them, and process them through a couple different applications. We're going to use Adobe Bridge as the application that's going to help us select and organize our images. And then we're going to move into using, we're not at Camera Raw yet because we're not shooting raw files, but we're going to be using Photoshop to make a selection of edits to those images. And then we're going to process them. We're going to skip over this stage where we're making prints or print size images. We can start practicing that now if you'd like, but I'm not expecting it. And we're going to jump to JPEGs, and this is going to be the format we're going to want to use to post our images as web galleries to WordPress for this assignment page. Now, I've broken up this into steps, so first, second, third, and fourth steps. I'm also noting here that I don't want you to forget that the last three images, you're going to be using what's called image compare in WordPress. And it's just a simple way of posting your images so you can show me what the image looked like before you made edits and then after. But I'm not going to have you do that for every single image, just 3 of them. Okay, so down here I have a printable poster of that previous slide, this one. And then I have a PDF as well that you can download that kind of walks you through visually and with text this same workflow process. So this is just table of contents. The very first step, you're going to choose 10 of those images from your 300. And you're going to choose 10 based on the criteria listed for each one of these. So one of your images you're going to choose as an example of an underexposed image. One you're going to choose as an overexposed image. 3, you're going to choose an image with shallow depth of field. 1, you're going to choose an image with deep depth of field, and then so on and so forth. So you can see that each one of these is kind of illustrating a technical part of your bracketing assignment. Now the last 3 images that I've highlighted here, these are the ones that you're going to use the image compare for. So these are properly exposed images that you made and I've identified as properly exposed. You're going to make edits to them, but you're also going to present to me the before you've made edits and the after you've made edits. So they're 2 separate images. Now, these are reference video demos that I want you to watch, part 1 and part 2, that's going to help you identify those images. Now the second step for this is we're going to work in Photoshop, and we're going to make what are called non-destructive edits. And those are edits that aren't permanent to the image itself. And that goes through, there's a link to a definition here, but it'll make sense once we get into what we're using, which are adjustment layers. So the very first thing you're going to do for every single image is you're going to convert those images to black and white. Okay, you're going to follow these steps and you're going to convert them to black and white. Now, you're going to make 2 adjustment layer edits of your choice for each image. Now, keep in mind that choosing an underexposed, an underexposed image and an overexposed image, I want you to illustrate that they're still underexposed and overexposed. So when making some of these adjustment layers, one of your options is to brighten or darken an image. You can choose to do that if you like to illustrate what's over or underexposed, or you can maintain the brightness or the darkness of that image as it was shot. And you can do other adjustment layers to that image other than adjusting the brightness or darkness, all right? Now, each one of these, this black and white conversion, there's a demo for that. The adjustment layers, there's a demo in part 3 of this. This is the same video, but I'm asking you to start at the 8-minute and 50-second mark, and that'll bring you right to adding those adjustment layers. And then saving your files as Photoshop documents or .psd files. That's part 4. This is a demo part 4 video, a separate one, and I ask you to start at 8 minutes and 50 seconds also. Now, note you can add color back to the image as one of your non-destructive edits. So one of these 2 adjustment layer edits is, and I demo this in the video, you have the option of adding color back into your image, all right? So if you started black and white, which all of your images should be, you'll then also have an opportunity to give color back. Now, the third step here is converting your image into an output format, so a file format for outputting. Now, you can practice creating your images as .tiff files, which is what would be our print format for an image. I give the demos here for resizing and doing that, but I also give you a web size image demo where you can go straight from your Photoshop document to that web size JPEG. So there's a link here to that. So you can choose to do either at this point. We will come back and practice more of creating print size TIFFs, so don't feel like this is the last time you'll see that. But for now, if you want to jump ahead, you can go ahead and just go from your PSD to web size JPEGs. Now remember that the last 3 images, 8, 9, and 10, those are your properly exposed images. You're going to use the image compare media setting in WordPress to create a before and after presentation of these images. Now I give you a demo link here as well. It's a nice way of letting me know where you started and then all of the edits you chose to make, and I can give you some better feedback. Now, continuing into our future assignments, if you have images that you really want to get feedback on in terms of the technical adjustments you've made and you want to continue using image compare, you can refer back to this. Now, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Remember that all of your images are going to end up in a gallery on a dedicated assignment page in WordPress. So you're going to have 10 total images, right? But 7 of them are going to be single images, where the last 3 images are going to be in this image compare format. If you've got any questions, don't hesitate to ask, and look forward to seeing your work.